Hello animators, and welcome back to another short video. It's actually not that short because I want to talk about the script that I wrote, and because it's really powerful, we can use this kind of script to do several things. It's mainly used to add new feature to any rigs in Maya, like adding new spaces to the IK arm is the more traditional way to use it. When we have to follow the head, the hips, the chest, whatever. This is the main part, and maybe some rigs a lack of this feature, especially the free one. In a studio, probably you have it, but this kind of script is not just for that. You can really use for everything else about connecting different part of the body, or also other part like a prop, asset, external. For instance, you can easily constrain an asset, an object to the arm, and move between arms really by switching on and off this kind of feature of the plugin. Maybe some rig lacks of the IK leg that follows the body. Maybe Superman flying away, instead of using FK legs, we can put IK legs in both space, for instance, or in the fly connected, and you can use it. And we also see how to connect a different rig to steal kind of animation used to the other connected guy. That's why it's a bit longer. This video is split in 3 or 4 parts, starting with the more traditional way to use this plugin and finishing to an exception, because in this plugin I provided 2 versions. One where we can use traditionally with the reference file in Maya, because we know we use always to import as a reference a rig, but sometimes a rig has some control in the hierarchy of the rig locket, so we need to hack a bit the rig itself and save with another name. But this is an exception, really rarely, and never you will find this in a studio. I always use this kind of plugin in a day by day in a studio environment when I'm working with the reference version, because it doesn't change the rig, it just temporarily enhance the rig inside the scene, so you are free to use it. It causes no problem. You can export your animation to the other department with no problem. It just allow us to make our switching at the space feature in the rig in a very, very easy way. Let's see how it works.
Let's see how to use this plugin. First, we need to install. You can read the description how to do it, but basically we just need to or click here in the load source and you point to the file, or you just copy from the text file multispace.py and you just drag here in the shelf. So you can just have it every time here. Once you click here, you have this small interface, which allows you to choose between 2 slightly different versions. This one is the main one. The reference one is that one that 99% of the case we use. So let's start with this, then we jump to the other one. So I open this rig by Joe Daniels, the Body Mechanics Mega Pack, to simply, let's see how to use it. Of course, we need to work in IK arms, so we need to switch to IK. And basically, we can add new space to, in this case, to the arms, but we can do the same thing to the foot, to everything in the rig, also with other parts that are not in the rig, also with some assets we will see in other videos. But the main part where we can use it is this one. So let's click here and let's see how it works. We can close this one. So multi-space tool reference. Traditional way is to allow to enhance the rig. In this case, this rig doesn't have so many spaces. Probably it does. Somehow I didn't dig too much on it. But let's say it doesn't have any space. We have just the word space, which means that when I move the body, the arm stays there, which is okay. But sometimes you need to, most of the time, you need to have the arms that follows the body, or you want to put in add space. Let's see some example. So to add this feature, we just need to select the arm, the object we want to add this feature, and say what we want to do. For instance, I want to fold the body. So I write here after I select, I write body with the selection live. I click here, the first button, and we just add a new attribute name here, body. We now need to specify what this body is. So I select the body, I click the second button, and then just execute. This way we properly added the new space. If I move the body now, nothing happens, nothing different, because we need to enable this one. So body, just put to 1, and now that arm will follow the body. The same thing we can do, for instance, with the head. I want to put the head space in this other arm. So I type head. With the selection live, I click 1, then I define what the head is, 2, and 3. So now I have the new space here, which is head. And this means that if I put, for instance, I have this I have to do something like that. I put in that space and I can move the head, and the end follows. It's super handy. And what else? As I said, we can do the same thing with the other part of the rig. Another thing could be useful, maybe if you want to write in like body space, like other rigs could have. We can see sometimes we just need to put the name this way. For instance, add space, and just if I put the space in between, it doesn't work. I just need to write one word, but when I want to split, I have to put the capital 1, and it will write it this way, head space properly. In this case, I have to define the head, and then, okay. So also for this one, I have the head space. Means that if I move the head, both of the arm are moving. Okay, so let's see something else. Let's reset this one. Because I'm working in a reference file, like we need to do when we proper animate a shot, we need to have the rig imported as a reference, not opening the file. It means that I can use this tool also in a already animated shot. Let's see an example. I did this kind of simple body mechanics for a webinar in squashandstretch.net. Let's see what happens if I apply this animation. Of course, it was without any arm. This way, just display was this way. So there was just this simple man sitting there. Just understand the mechanics in this fundamental. So now we have the animation, and we already see that by default, we saw that this is in word space. So it means that both are 0 here. And it's weird because it does that. So I can put body here, and it's already good because it's there. And because it works in a way that allows us to animate on top, you can see that there's no keys here. So it means that I can properly animate. I can put in pose, I can do proper animation on top of this, always having the arm following the body. Okay, and because I see that there is something in the chest here, like this kind of overlap, we can try to be creative. What if I put the chest space here and see what happens? So I put the chest here, I define what the chest is, and then execute. And if I switch to chest here, enable it, I already get probably something, some kind of overlap. which is nice because I have this animation for free. And once again, there's no keys there, and I can animate on top. So basically, we can use this plugin in a professional environment. I use every day in the studio because it doesn't change the rig itself. It works just in the scene, and we can use an already animated shot. So these can really change our life to make our animation easier. So this is the traditional way to use it. Let's see something different. Let's see another way we can use this multi-space plugin. Really, we can be very creative when using it and use it to simply constrain the arm of the alk. Maybe let's do it brighter. Yeah, have this scene. Let's suppose we need to grab this kind of piece of wood, metal, this ball. And without any plugin, this can be tedious, maybe, if not difficult, if you're not skilled. You need to put locator, probably, constraint, turn on and off. With this multi-space plugin, is super simple. I already did all this setup, I just show it. It's always loaded as a reference, so it's a proper way. And what I did is just define a new element, this pole, and the space to grab it. So now, also of course in this other arm, now I can just move the pole and the arms follow. So super easy. And also when I want to avoid the arm keep following the pole like I did with this one, we just can animate this channel. And we can freely move once again this one. Of course, don't look at the animation, it's just an example. So it's super, super easy. We just define a new element by going here, as we show in the other video here. You don't need to define just the body parts. You can define anything else. In this case, I define the pole, and then I constrain it. And it's easy. You can switch on and off. And really, you can be very creative. Let's see another version of this one. Okay, this is a slightly different version. It starts the same, but in the end, this breaks this stuff. And I did it always with this plugin, defining these new two pieces. So everything, even something that can be complex, it becomes very, very easy to do with this multi-space plugin because you can really define whatever you need in a specific moment of your shot and turn on and off. If you're interested to see how to do exactly this kind of interaction, how to split the pole in two, let me know in the comment. I will do a special video tutorial for you. Let's see another example on how we can use this multi-space plugin to help us animate. I took this shot from a student, Ramona, which did this trot, just the trot, not the yoke. This nice trot exercise with the horse. And I thought to put Hulk on top and see how we can use this script to help us animate easily. Let's see. First of all, we can probably simply connect the Hulk to the horse so he can follow. Parent constraint, and he follows. Then we can actually use another simple script that I wrote. You can download for free. I can put the link in the description just to track the action. Select the control, and we can track whatever we choose. without worrying about going back and forth with the burst. You will see how to use it and to download it from the link in the description. Right now we have this, so we go straight out to the horse. And let's see how we can use this one to make more interesting, not more interesting animation, but to help us animate better. There's no strings in this horse, but we can just constrain maybe to this control, which is neck tree. At first, maybe I will try with the body to move a bit more everything. So we can add a new space for the body to follow the middle spine. So we open the traditional version, that one with the reference, of course, that one that we can use in a professional scenario environment in a studio, because it works in the scene, not in the rig. It doesn't change the rig at all. So it's super safe to use. So let's add this middle spine maybe. And once again, if you want to split in 2 words, let's put a capital letter where we want to split. So let's select the body, click this one, middle spine, the spine, and then let's say which one is this middle spine, is this one. Define it and execute. So we have a new space here. We can connect to one and see what happened. And we already get something. Of course, it's kind of weird because it's just following it, but it's constrained. The body is there, no penetration. It's cool. Let's keep going. Let's try something else with the arm, as I said, with the neck. So this is called the neck tree. Let's add this space. So neck tree, just to remind where we connect it. Let's select the neck and execute. Enable it. And it's already better. It's more connected. It's following the neck. And we can keep going with this. We can try the foot, this one. Maybe with this other spine here, with the breathing. So we can put breaths in the foot. Select this one and execute. Enable this one. And it's good. It's very nice, this leg following. The body, yours. And we already get something for free. Of course, we are free to animate here. There's no connection here. We can easily do our offset, our animation on top, the chest and the body, wherever. Everything is following, but at the same time, it's free to animate. We can try something with the chest, with the head, and get what we can by stealing the animation from the horse, and then we can animate on top. So this is a clever way to use this powerful tool. Let's see now when to use the alternative version multispace open file. I loaded as a reference always Mery from meryproject.com. It is as well a free rig, very nice, very common online, and she has already a lot of of space here. Let's put IK arm, and we see that she has already a lot of space. But for the sake of this video tutorial, because this kind of rig, how is it built, we cannot use the traditional reference one, because the node above the control are locked and hidden, something that is not usual. We always have 3 null nodes on top of these controls, so we can use with the reference. In this rig, and maybe some other, this null above is locked, so we cannot use the first reference one. I said this one is imported as a reference. Let's try the main one, that is this one. I try to add, I don't know, chest here. I put a name, correct. But when I select the chest to define, the script does its own calculation and it found out that there's something locked and cannot create the connection. So the plugin fails and we cannot use it. So to fix this, we have the other version. So we can always use this kind of plugin. The only thing is that we need to open the file and then save with the new name. But let's see. So I'm loading the file, opening the Maya file, and we have Mery. So no reference. There's no reference. And now we can use this one. Once again, we need to use the second one because it's slightly different and works with this kind of rig when they have something locked on top of the control we want to add the new spaces. So we use open file, and let's try once again with the chest. Select this one, chest, select the chest, define the chest and execute. We got no error, we got the message, new spaces added. We can test it. Chest, let's put close to the chest actually. Maybe she needs to do something like this. And we can simply now animate the main control. And the arm is locked there. Nice archer pose. And now, of course, we need to go back and save this version. We can put as many new spaces we want to, but just we need to save with a new name and import in our shot in a proper reference way by loading the reference. And we will have all these new attributes available.